So yesterday I was listening to a I won't call it a business podcast, but let's just say a session from one of my favorite business guys. The reason why I listen to this guy so much is even because like I've noticed he I don't want to give too much details about this guy because I want to talk about some of the things he said, and I don't. Sorry, this is not a place for me to be calling out people. I'm not trying to call him out. All right, so I'm trying to leave him out as anonymous as possible, and I don't want to give too many details such that somebody will go and check it out, and this will all be all over Twitter. I'm not trying to trend. I'm trying to give solid advice. All right, so this business guy, very young guy, basically, but solid. Like that this guy, if it's in terms of knowledge years, this guy is like 60 something, but in actual retrospect, he's in his 20s. All right, I even recently learned this guy got married, but yeah, do with that what you will. So he was talking about okay, let me not give you the topic. Okay, he was talking about being an influence or being influential, basically in one specific space, and he was talking about so many things and it was good. But what I really want to highlight is the manner in which he was talking about it. Listen, this guy grew up in a very tough background, like very, very tough background. I don't want to go into his story, but very, very tough background. And, through a lot of perseverance and pushing and, doing a lot of hard work, he has, when I say built a mantra for himself that, hard work is it. Like his whole foundation. Don't get me wrong, he has a lot of principles and everything, but you can tell that his whole thing is about hard work. Like his philosophy is outwork the next person. Do you understand? And don't get me wrong, please. I like to state balance here so that we will understand. Hard work does not kill, and there's a way you will do life. All right, and you put in so much hard work that life will end up yielding to you. All right, what you want. I won't say what you deserve, but what you want. Do you understand? There's a way you will push against something that it will end up yielding to you. All right. And I think that's one of the reasons why I listen to him, because he spurs me on into, pushing, because I'm a kind of person where, and this is not tooting my own horn, people have told me there's a lot of feedback. I'm a very smart person. So I tend to use my smartness, quote unquote, to to find ways to do work easier. As opposed to like doing, the work. So yes, I may do work faster, I may do work more efficiently, but there are some times where work just needs hard work. It's not about doing it smarter. It's not about doing it faster. I know some people relate to me. It's not about doing it faster. Some things just need a lot of energy and effort and these things. What do I mean? I don't like doing something for a sustained period of time. I would rather do something that's, okay, how can we shut this down to the smallest? Do you understand what I'm saying? Whereas there are some things that just need consistency and sustainability. That is also why I'm doing this podcast, let's see, challenge of a podcast every day for 90 days. To put that into context, all throughout my 3 years in podcasting, I had never done even 90 podcasts. So this is a very big deal for me. All right. A podcast a day for 90 days. So we'll probably be done, let's say, beginning end of February. Do you understand? We're going to have a podcast every day. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. And do I buy into his philosophy? Yes, I do believe that, hard work is so important. And even me, that I'm in the early stage of my career, I'm beginning to see like, bro, listen, when you what's the word? There's a way you will work hard there. You'll be a founder's wet dream. I'm sorry to use the expression, but I've seen it. There's a babe where I used to work for before. Do you know when somebody works so much that even you have to acknowledge that, no, this babe sabi pass me. Like this babe, she came into the company after me, but the work rate she puts, I don't get me wrong, I was working hard. Like it's not a case of like, oh, I was lazy, I was chilling. Like even the founder acknowledged my work, but this babe's work rate was insane. Like not only is she working all day, weekend she's working, she's also calling the founder. I can't say in my I won't tell you how long I worked there, but in my totality of working there, I called the founder like 3 times. This babe called him almost every weekend. And I didn't say week, I said weekend. She called him on a Saturday, no, on a Sunday. He even said it. She called him on a Sunday evening, by like Sunday nights by 10 p.m. to discuss some things. I was like, what kind of spirit is inside you? And I'll talk about that in the second episode about like really your passion and your purpose. I'll talk about it, but let's leave that. But the reason why I'm talking about this guy is because when I listen to this guy, in fact, there's another episode in this too where I'll talk about how people need to really take the seed out of some things while leaving the fruits. Take the core message out of some things while leaving the excesses. And I think that's a very dangerous thing that people don't do, or people don't know how to do. So here is this guy, talking about business and all these things. And he says a lot of things. And I'm going to be mentioning some of the things because I need to reference them to make my point. So he says something like, oh, as a child, or as a parent, it's an anomaly for your child to even be born without a trust fund. And I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say this directly, but implied this. That it's an anomaly for your child. Every child should be a trust fund baby. That if your child is not a trust fund baby, it means, your parents or you as a parent failed. Now, there's a sense to that in the sense that you and yourself should be successful such that your children don't have to labor as much. Do you understand? To enter or press into stuff. And that's something that should be normal. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like there's a sense behind it where you don't need to lobby like your child shouldn't have to lobby as much since you should have done, the real grunt work and hard work and everything. And I get what he's trying to say. But there's a way you will say it that not only will you make people feel bad, it will force this I must succeed by all means mentality, which is a very dangerous place to be, because that is where people now begin to idolize the concept of success. And the true thing about it is, and I'll talk about this in another episode, where your success isn't bound by your money. Your success isn't determined by more or less what you do. Don't let me get into that point right now, but there's a level of success that is only, what am I saying? Not a level of success. Success is only bound by what God has set for you. Do you understand? So what happens to all those street preachers that in their own plan, like in God's plan for them, they may almost never be rich. I didn't say they will not be comfortable. They may be able to afford certain things and God will continue to provide for them, but they may never be rich in the world's eye. So will you say that they have failed? Do you understand what I'm saying? And some people say that, well, that's an exception. Do you know how many church preachers there are? So when I say church preachers, sorry, do you know how many street preachers there are? Do you know how many some people who God has just sent to be missionaries and missionaries and those set of people? Will you now say all those people are poor? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. There's a way you talk about these things and preach about these things that will damage some people. Do you understand? And then I also don't agree with it. I don't think it would be nice if everybody's a trust fund baby and this thing and this thing. But then at the same time, we need to talk ourselves number one, the reality, number two, the truth. Saying things like that while there's sense to it, and I've explained why there's sense to it, can be very, very, very damaging. He said something like, your child, the thing motivating me is that my child must never look up to somebody else as a role model. Well, I think what people don't understand by that is role model doesn't just mean in the financial aspect. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, my child may look at me in moral, in all these things, but if my child was to be, for example, an artist, I'm not an artist. I can't even sing to save my life. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if my child was to be an artist, and he say, okay, his role model is maybe Limo Blaze or Great Man Takit. So me, I should now kill myself, tell myself, go to music studio just because I want to be my child's role model artist. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why I said that for a lot of things, yeah, he was speaking sense. But there's a way you preach this thing. And when I say preach, you understand what I'm saying? He's trying to take a session. He's not a preacher. But there's a way you talk this thing into people. And I was hearing it from the responses people were getting because he asked for feedback. You will see that these people have a new, challenge other them to do more, to push, but also going about it the wrong way. Because some of the questions that we're asking were very, very dangerous and very, very damning. Some of them were asking to what limit must I go? The man was saying something like, you would know. That's a very dangerous, something like that. It's very, very dangerous for you to go through those kind of lens. Hard work is important. Don't get me wrong. Push yourself to the limits as much as possible, but always have boundaries. There are certain boundaries that you must never cross. Say, for example, you're a woman. All right. In fact, man or woman, and you are trying to close a deal, and he did mention this. That's why I said that sometimes he tempered it, but I understand where he's coming from, and he's even a very, very good Christian. That's why I fully understand where he's coming from. If he listens to this for whatever reason, I'm not criticizing him, talking about what he was saying was trash. He's saying things very well. I'm talking about the delivery of his message might be the problem, because if I am the average Nigerian listening to that, you are basically telling them that, look, hard work in any area is good. Hard work in them, which is not necessarily good, because bank robbers also do a lot of hard work. People that do promiscuous things do a lot of hard work. It's not the same. All right, so you're trying to close a deal, and the client is telling you, just come over to my house, let's close the deal. And you're a woman, and it's telling you to come 10 p.m. in the night. I know there's a thing Lagosians have normalized. Like 10 p.m. is not the end of the day, 12 a.m. is. Stop that rubbish. Ladies and stop it too. That thing is a lie of the devil that will put you in trouble. What do you mean end of the day is not so? Okay, they play. Please, let's know what we are doing. I think the way you put this, that I would say, is before you even start business, before you start anything, I would say have strong core principles, have certain boundaries that you must never cross. It may be with money, and I think the best way to put it is consecrations. Talk to God. God, what are certain things I must never do? Do you understand? In the same way in the Bible, when great men were about to be built, even from when they were born, they had consecrations. For example, Samson must never cut his hair. See, they said it. Samson must never cut his hair. And there are so many of them that there were consecrations that, their parents gave them. Please, and please ask God, before I step into this, especially if you're going to politics, what are my consecrations? Because it's those kind of things that will keep you. You will have days, you will have months, you will have years where, honestly, there is a lot of backlash, and you will need to do some things, and you'll be tempted. Do you understand? Because naturally, you can't just expect new levels of power, new levels of glory. Sorry, not glory. New levels of whatever, without actually being tested. It's just the truth. All right. So my mind on my level is just to advise you: ask for new consecrations. Ask for God. What must I do? What must I not to do? Do you understand? Even your consecration could be praying more in particular season. It's very, very important. Dear Christian, please don't overlook these things. All right. These are the little things that people overlook. And then when the day comes, Bible says, if your faith fails in the day of adversity, your strength is small. All right. These are the things you need to build up right now. And it's not the day, let's leave that one for another day. But it's not the day you want to go and fight Goliath. That's the first day you are learning to use a slingshot. Let that one sink in. I'm not going to talk more than that, but please. All right. And like I said, the guy is such an amazing guy. I really love his sessions. I'll continue to listen to his sessions, but I'll also continue to talk about things like this. Like, there's a way to temper hard work with favor, because even people that have succeeded will tell you this thing. It's not all about hard work. It's also about opportunity. Do you understand what I'm saying? And there's a way you work hard, because there are people that have worked hard and still not made it. And it takes the favor of God to press into some things. Do you understand? There are people, they are civil servants that if they tell you their schedule, the hard, sorry, let me use English that is bad. The hardworkingest, the most hardworking person in the world cannot do it. And that tells you what they are doing. It takes a certain level of favor. It takes a certain level of opportunity to press into some things. All right. So please, let's not deceive ourselves. All right. It's not everything that is just hard work. If it was as simple as that, people like bricklayers, Omo, they will be the richest men in the world. They ought to be carrying brick 12 p.m. in the sun, on Lagos sun. Yeah, joker now. It's not just about hard work. It's also about smart work. There's a way to temper it. Do you understand? So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. So if you have this philosophy and you're talking about, hard work, pressing into some things, I'm not discouraging you. Please do. what I would just add is, before you go all crazy, have consecrations, have boundaries, have core values. If you know you're not someone that has core values, go and build those ones before you start pressing and do 90 days hard. Have core values. For example, there are some things I will not talk about on this podcast, no matter what. Even when I don't have contents, I will still not talk about them. The reason is because I'm not trying to trend. I'm not trying to be controversial, except where need be. And I'm not trying to stir up some people, all right? Such as rules. I could have easily called out this guy and said, this. He has been saying this. No, because my purpose of this is not trying to, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to correct in love and still not even mention his name. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just so that anybody that is listening to him and listening to me will be able to temper the two. Do you understand? So, yeah, I just felt like I should put this out so that everybody that is listening, has the opportunity to really, really learn from it. I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you later. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll put emphasis on share again so that somebody can be blessed by this. All right, thanks.